They rewrote my bonus terms after I earned it. This one still burns. Even a year later. My role was in business development. Heavy focus on bringing in new clients. My contract included a written performance bonus, 10% commission for any close. Client over a certain threshold. In Q3, I landed to huge contracts back to back. We're talking multi-year deals. My 10% was going to come out to around $28,000. Life-changing money for me at the time. I didn't see the bonus in my paycheck. I waited 2 weeks, nothing. When I emailed finance, they said we're adjusting the policy for larger contracts. It's no longer a flat 10%. New bonuses are calculated case by case. I asked when this new policy was shared. They said it's internal and not finalized yet, but it's being applied retroactively to Q3. Retroactively, I had a contract, signed, explicit terms. When I pushed, they said I could talk to legal, but that it might not be in your best interest. A threat, basically. I remember pacing around my apartment like an animal. I couldn't sleep. I replayed every call, every email, wondering if I'd misread something. But I hadn't. I'd played it straight. They just moved the goalposts once I scored. I contacted a lawyer, but the cost of fighting was more than what I'd probably win after fees. They knew that. So I took the loss, moved on. Told every recruiter I knew never to send anyone to that company. And here's the kicker, one of the clients I brought in, they're still with that company, generating over $500,000 a year. My bonus, I got a Starbucks gift card and a round of applause in a Zoom call. Never again. Now everything goes in writing, and I screenshot everything. We don't do overtime here, but you still have to, so I worked at this mid-sized tech firm where they prided themselves on a strict no overtime policy. You'd hear that line all the time during onboarding. We respect your time, and no one is expected to work beyond their 40 hours. What they didn't say is that deadlines were set assuming you'd put in at least 50. During my first big project, I stayed until 9 p.m. 3 nights in a row. When I submitted my hours, yes, we had to log them. HR flagged me. They said it raised concerns and could reflect poorly on my time management. I was stunned. You gave me for days to do a 6-day job. I told my supervisor. His reply, that's just how things move here. You make it happen, but don't bill for it. It became this weird unspoken culture. No one admitted they worked late, but everyone did. Slack messages at midnight. Emails timestamps at 14 a.m. If you brought it up, people said you just have to be efficient. The worst part was how gaslight why. It became my productivity was high, objectively. But once I started tracking actual hours on a personal sheet, I saw the truth. 56, 61, 58. Week after week, no extra pay, no comp time, just the privilege of being on a high-performance team. The breaking point came when I worked an 11-hour day fixing a major bug in production. That fix prevented a massive client loss. I was congratulated in a company-wide email, and then got a written warning from HR for misreporting time. That weekend, I couldn't even enjoy my time off. I sat on the couch in silence, phone face down. I felt like I was becoming someone bitter, someone I didn't like. I used to love coding. Now I just stared at my screen like it owed me something. I quietly applied elsewhere, got a new gig that pays for every hour. When I left, my exit interview was 5 minutes of them trying to make me admit I was too sensitive for the pace. Maybe I was, or maybe I just respect my own time more than they ever did. The promotion that never came, I was promised a promotion 3 times over the course of 2 years. Every time, I was told you're on track, just a few more months. The budget needs to be approved. At first, I believed them. I took on extra responsibilities, worked late nights, covered for coworkers who quit because they saw the writing on the wall, and even helped train new hires for roles that should have been beneath me by then. I wasn't just doing my job. I was doing three. Eventually, I sat down with my manager and asked directly, "Is this happening or not?" He looked genuinely embarrassed, glanced down at his desk, and mumbled, "It's complicated. The higher-ups aren't ready to move forward, but keep doing what you're doing. You're indispensable." That word indispensable became my red flag. I remember sitting in my car after that conversation, just staring at the steering wheel. You know when something inside you breaks, but no one else hears it? That's what it felt like. All those nights I stayed to finish reports while the office was empty and dark. I thought it was for something. I thought I was building a future. A month later, they hired someone externally for the exact title I was promised. I trained them. Literally trained the person who took the role I'd been working toward for 2 years. He was nice. Smart, even, but clueless. On day 3, he asked me what the internal documentation workflow meant. I smiled and explained it, just like a good team player. I hated myself for that. When I confronted HR, they said we never made any formal offer. You misunderstood. I asked for the documentation. Of course, none existed. It was all verbal, just future potential. I started having stress dreams. I'd wake up thinking I was late for a fake meeting. My partner told me I started grinding my teeth in my sleep. I gave my 2 weeks the next morning. The worst part, I genuinely liked that job. But they dangled a carrot they never planned to give me. Now I tell everyone I mentor, if they won't put it in writing, they never meant it.